Okay, so it's the 3rd of May today, and behold, a package from Vinted that is actually being sent, well, sort of in a box. Honestly, there's more sellotape than box here, and there's actually holes in it, just there. So, I'm hoping this is alright, because, yeah, but, I mean, it's better than putting it in a bag. It's better than putting it in a bag, but yeah. I see a box, it's basically, they've sellotaped cardboard together. Okay. So, you can see there, they haven't used bubble wrap, they've used cling film. Which doesn't really give much padding really at all, because it's cling film. Still, it's an improvement. And hopefully this is alright, because unfortunately this has one of those really brittle plastic boxes. The problem here is that the sellotape is holding it at the other side. Like the sellotape, I can't pull this out because the sellotape on the inside is actually holding it in place. So I'm just going to have to cut this quote-unquote box up into bits. They have used a lot of sellotape, I will give them that. What is it stuck to? It's stuck to something. I think it's the fact that it's cling film as well. The cling film is really, like, it. Look at this, it doesn't want to come off. It's like, there we go, there we go. Yeah, so you can see the sellotape on the inside of the box and the cling film that's stuck to it. But okay, we are getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere here. Okay. More sellotape. Yeah, interesting the fact that they use cling film and that with this. But still, they made an effort. I'll give them that. They made an effort. Whereas a lot of people on Vinted, unfortunately, don't make an effort at all, and just find the nearest item to them and just send it in that. But yeah, thankfully, by a miracle, there's a bit of damage to the side. It's a bit of a ding to the side, otherwise the box is alright. Don't know if you can see it, there's a ding to the side, but otherwise, hooray! So this is, they said it was brand new. Sealed. It's, you fucking liar, it's not. That is not, that is being opened. That is being opened, I can see the tape that's been cut. Anyway, this cost me £20, I think 86, which is a good price because I think at the moment the cheapest you can get it is £40. But yeah, for such normally what would be a fairly expensive little statue, which there it is, Shrek 2. We've got Puss in Boots and Gingy there. In fact, we have a zoom in. I honestly cannot tell if he's in focus or not. And apparently not. Well, yeah. He's pretty well detailed. The Shrek logo and everything. So, yeah. Again, it's really hard to tell if it's focusing. But, yeah, this is more than likely from Shrek 4, by the looks of it. I said Shrek 2 before, but clearly it's from Shrek 4. Because of the little dolly there. But yeah, it does have a little bit of weight to it, though that is just a weight in the bottom. But yeah. I don't know where it was that said, I think they put in the description, oh yeah, 40 centimetres tall. That is not 40 centimetres tall. Yeah. I think the description was just a bit of a pack of lies. In terms of one brand new unopened, which it is open, but still, I was going to open it anyway, so at least in that sense it didn't really matter. But I've got a tape measure here. Let's actually see how big it is. So that is about 15.5 centimetres. 15.5 centimetres, which, you know, it's roughly about just over 6 inches. Just barely over 6 inches tall. And that, but it is a nice little thing. I can focus. Yeah, it's a nice little thing regardless. And I do really like it as well. I was worried about the puss because initially I thought he didn't have any texturing detail on him, and he does, though he could have done with a little bit more because he does look particularly on the face. On the face he does look a bit too smooth. His face in particular looks particularly smooth. Yeah, this is difficult to focus on because I'm trying to look at the viewfinder, but when I put this up to the camera, it's really hard to see. Yeah. But yeah, not really much else to say. £20, I think 86 it was, including the delivery and that, and interestingly it was sent via Royal Mail. And that, which is interesting because obviously, you know, normally with Vinted it's not sent via Royal Mail, but yeah, there we go people, there we go. Okay, so it's the 6th of May today. Got a record here, and just show you the box there. This is basically where Royal Mail will grab it, like that, and will use it. Again, I see this in everyone, and look at the damage across there. That is being bent. Now, hopefully this one is alright, because this should be a picture disc, and won't actually have a cardboard box. Or at least hopefully not. So it should be okay, in theory. But yeah, like, 2 things need to happen. Royal Mail, start handling people's parcels better, please. And number 2, these should be made of a thicker, robust cardboard. Like, these should really have an outer layer. And that, yeah, it's bent at the corner. It's weird to see a newer release still in one of these PVC sleeves. Which I'm going to immediately remove afterwards, because if you don't know, PVC sleeves and that, basically they tend to break down and release basically a gas in them that then adheres to the record and can ruin your records. So yeah, anyway, this is Tongue in Cheek by Dizzy Rascal. This is Zoe Taupe vinyl. I think this was released, yeah, 2024, so this was released last year. And I got this, I didn't know about this until very recently. And I think the only reason it got advertised to me, look at this, it's stuck in there. That's the problem, is they really adhere to the record. They really adhere to the records themselves, and they can really, there we go, stick inside. Hopefully this one is alright. But yeah, this is a Zoetrope. If you want to see this spinning more, I've already done a YouTube short on it. And there we go. Quite thin. Hopefully it isn't warped. I don't know. I've got a feeling it may slightly be. I'm not 100% certain. I do have an anti-static sleeve here, which, let's put the record in there. There we go. That'll give it some more protection, and that obviously I will still keep the sleeve and that, but there'll be basically a layer between them and that to stop this, you know, from breaking down on there. But yeah, there's a bit, that corner's a bit bent, though thankfully since this is a PVC sleeve, there's actually a nice easy way to straighten this out. What you do is basically heat it up and then you can straighten it out. But yeah, how much could that cost actually? I'd like to know, because as I said, I got it on a 10% off Rare Waves. They had another sale at the end of April where they had 10% off everything when you spent £20 or more. So that one was £30 and 14 pence with the discount. So yeah, not bad. Here's the other one, and this other one should also be a picture disc. Now, one record that I did order, 'cause I did order 3 that will not arrive because it was a pre-order, was Linkin Park From Zero Deluxe Edition, and I pre-ordered that. To be honest, I don't know why it's so expensive. And that same with Green Day Survivors Deluxe Edition. Why are they so why is the price of them so expensive? But here we go. Here's Michael Jackson Dangerous picture disc, and thankfully this seems to have arrived perfectly fine. Now this is in obviously a PVC sleeve as well, but this is an older release, and that much cheaper on Rare Waves as well, for some reason, because a lot of places are like wanting £50–60 for this. I paid £32.25 with the 10% off, though even without it, it would have been less than 40 quid. So yeah, don't know why it was so expensive, but yeah. Also, that's the first Dizzy Rascal album I've ever bought. Actually, I should have talked a little bit more about that, because it has Dance With Me and Bonkers on it. Was basically the main reason I got it, and because it was a Zoetrope, and that's if it's a Zoetrope, that's another reason why I would get it. Same reason I think I got You and Me X6 Zoetrope, whatever record that was. So if we open it up, let's take a look at each disc. This is available as a I think it's burgundy vinyl. It might be maroon coloured vinyl as well, rather than a picture disc. So there is a non-picture disc version. Although the non-picture disc version is sometimes is usually the same price at a lot of places, or in some cases slightly more expensive than the picture disc. And with this beautiful artwork, I really love the picture disc. It is absolutely lovely. That's disc 1. There's the anti-static sleeves. gave me anti-static sleeve. Not that one. Where are we? Bloody anti-static. That's some. Yeah, here we go. My bag of anti-static inner sleeves. I think this is a brand new pack I've just opened. But yeah, basically this will keep the record all nice and good, and also, as well as protecting it, it'll stop static from building up, because obviously static and that can be picked up through the needle on your turning table. So yeah, there we go. You can still see the artwork all nice and good. Though for me personally, like, I won't see it anyway, because I've just noticed something actually. I've just noticed that it's quite raised in the middle. That section there, where, yeah, it's like a dip in that section, raised in that. I'm hoping that still lays perfectly flush. But yeah, that centerpiece there is meant to be flat. It's raised up on that side and is dipping on the other. So hopefully it means it hasn't warped it or anything. But yeah, I don't know. I did actually, speaking of Michael Jackson, for the first time I decided to finally listen to Invincible. Now, I don't have the... that was... when I was actually choosing which Michael Jackson record to get on the deal, it was between this and Invincible. And I've never heard the album before, but obviously I have heard Dangerous before, and I do own it on cassette and a digital copy. So, I think I do. So, you know, I decided, okay, I'll get the one that I know I like. And yeah, Invincible is the most different Michael Jackson album. It does have a couple of tracks on there I like, but none that that I love. Same thing with this one. It's like, it's hard to show on camera, but it's like raised up slightly, less so on this one, and then it dips on that one a little bit. Obviously, that's where basically it's being resting on basically the plinth, and they go bloom, the machine goes like that. But yeah, normally they get quite flat, not on this one anyway. The artwork. I am looking through the hole here, so I can see it's all in frame. Yeah. There we go. There we go. I mean, now with now owning this, I now own basically, you know, all the Michael Jackson this was like the last of the ones that I really wanted of Michael Jackson's albums that I really wanted, of, you know, his classics and the best of the best. Because I have Thriller, I have Bad, I have History Continues, although sort of, because History Continues, the current available version, only includes the new tracks that were made. It doesn't include the greatest hits tracks. Whereas if you have the original 1995 original record pressing, that one does include those. Also, this. And this piece of cardboard, which I'm going to remove. And the reason I'm going to remove it is because, again, basically the cardboard can also get stuck to this and basically pull off the artwork. You can see there, you can see where the disc has made a little bit of a dent in it there, unfortunately, but it's only slight. But yeah, at least for this one, this is the same as the back of the regular record would be, where you have the track listing and everything on there. So yeah, sort that. I shall sort all that out later. Is this all in front? Yeah, it is. Good. But yeah, got those two releases. Thankfully, you know, they've arrived safely, barely, just. So Yeah, I mean, the good thing about Rare Waves is they do have excellent customer service where basically if you have something that is damaged in the post, 9 times out of 10, they'll just send you another one and that in the post, which is one of the reasons that I've used them. Plus, 10% off free delivery. And these ones, I didn't wait forever and a day for. They're actually fairly, like, I won't say quick on dispatching them, but standard. Like, I didn't wait too long and that to get these, so that's all well and good. So, yeah, don't know what else. In terms of like dangerous and that, which one do I prefer? It's either, I don't know, might be my third favourite Michael Jackson album. Might be. Don't know. I think Black and White is definitely my favourite on this. But yeah, it's either third, maybe fourth, I don't know. Obviously Thriller first favourite, and then it's between History and Bad. Basically, those two kind of, like, which one do I prefer, History or Bad? It's like, just like which one's better out of the two. But yeah. There we go, people, there we go. Okay, so it's still the 6th of May today. Before I get into the next thing, I mentioned in the last bit of the unboxing, when I was unboxing Michael Jackson Dangerous, that I said I'd been listening to, for the first time, like all the way through, Michael Jackson's last album, Invincible, and I said, oh, there was a few tracks on there that I liked, but there was nothing that jumped out. Well, the final track on the album, Unbreakable, which is the last track on the album there, that one, I really liked that one. That one I'm definitely going to listen to again. That one was pretty good, and I'll probably, if I do end up getting the album, will probably be the reason I get it. Only available as a picture disc, that one. Unless you have the original 2001 vinyl release. Anyway, this was from Vinted, and it's in a cardboard box. Yeah, the seller actually packaged this really well. So yeah, well done to this Vinted seller. They actually, cared and that with this one. Which for what's inside, and that. This is one of the ones that could have probably survived with less, but I'm glad that... Look how well that's packaged. Look at that. That got bubble... No, that's not bubble wrap. That's a, like a sandwich bag type thing. So I think everything's in there. Yeah, this is all just paper to pack it. Wow. Can we just give a round of applause to that seller? That was really well packaged. That was really well packaged. So, yeah, got this as a bundle deal for, if you give me a second, not that one. Not for that one either. Been ordering a few things from Vinted actually recently. So this was $16.73, which includes all the fees and the postage. So yeah. Excuse me. This is all Sonic Boom merchandise. Now these were originally blind bags. You can see here there's an advertisement for it in here. Let's bring the camera a bit closer. So yeah. Again, bring the camera a bit closer. Why is it wonking to the wrong side a bit? I think that tripod's a little bit loose on there. There we go. There we go. So yeah, you can see that, and I should have the regular 5 included. I don't know if Shadow was like the hidden figure, or whether it was a variant of Sonic or something. I don't know. But this is the 5 like standardized figures, and they're still brand new sealed in their bags. Like, they don't have the blind bags like the actual blind bag itself, but the packets inside the blind bags they do have, so I don't think I'm going to open them. Just because they're in there. They're relatively well detailed actually for their small size. There's Knuckles. Just put alongside. They also would come with a base and a sticker. I think that's a sticker. The sticker doesn't seem to... Yeah, I thought the stickers were for the base, but the stickers don't seem to fit on the base. Well, this one is mostly in one piece, apart from his tails, but here is Tails. You can see that his tails are the only thing that is separate, and to be honest, I could probably... Yeah, hang on. I could just about fit the tails into there. There we go. So I've managed to build that one inside the packet there. Again, I don't know how well this is showing up. You know, I've got a piece of kitchen towel here. Let's see if that makes it any better. So there's tails. Actually, I'll remove the tails in case the tails happen to snap off. Finally, I have a figure, although it is fully disassembled, of Sticks. Wow, Sticks comes in a lot of pieces. But yeah, this is the only like figurine I've got of Sticks. Not a bad one. In fact, although with Tommy, those got tails too dark. He looks brighter on camera. But particularly in Sonic Boom, he's a very bright yellow. Here we have Eggman, who, oh my god. Just realised you can have a disembodied head of him. Wow. I do find that funny. Oh, is it everyone... Okay, so we don't have Amy, which, to be honest, that is the one I'm not too bothered about. And then the last one is Sonic himself. I thought this was meant to be 5. Wait, it is. What am I saying? Of course it is. I'm forgetting because Sticks is there. It's like... with the long legs. They've done his sports tape as grey. Yeah. Which is interesting. So yeah, all the main ones there apart from Amy. Doesn't appear that Sonic... Yeah, he does. Yeah. There's the base for Sonic. And the one for Tails. So yeah, these were blind bags from back in the day. I do vaguely remember seeing them. Only very vaguely. The only time I do remember seeing them, really, I think I saw them in... Not as, like, blind bags like this, which... I think I saw them in capsules. Like little capsules you get out of a machine. But yeah. Of course, I have to go back to keep them in all. So, alright, so yeah, pretty good price to have them, because then that's basically like £3 something per figure. And that, if you include the delivery and the fees and that, so yeah, that's not a bad price. Very happy with them. And they were very well packaged, so good overall. So yeah, there we go.